Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your 2021 open enrollment. Here are the items that we will be covering today. So the change in medical plans from current Aetna to Blue Cross Blue Shield, your flexible and health savings account information, the dental plans, vision, no changes to those plans, by the way, and then some changes to the MetLife life insurance, short-term and long-term disability, and then we have some voluntary benefits as well. So the open enrollment starts today. So the DarwinNet system will be open this afternoon with all the benefits loaded and the pricing, etc. So I would give it until this afternoon to access your DarwinNet system to enroll in your benefits. We do ask that you complete the enrollment by the 9th, as we are up against a very short timeline here to get cards delivered to everyone by the 1st of the year. Just some housekeeping items here, a refresher. Eligibility, so all employees who've met their eligibility criteria are eligible for benefits aside from yourself, a legal spouse, or a domestic partner and children up to the age of 26. Now for the children up to the age of 26, they are covered until the last day of the month in which they turn 26. After that, they will be offered COBRA. The benefits that you're reviewing and you will select and enroll in, you're locked into those benefits for a full 12 months, beginning January 1, ending December 31st, 2021. You cannot make any changes to those plans unless you have a qualified event. Some of those changes are here: marriage, divorce, birth of a child, loss of coverage for your spouse or domestic partner, things of that nature. If you think you've experienced a qualified event, please contact your CBR HR team immediately so you may review your benefits and potentially make changes. As a reminder, you only have 31 days from the date of the event to contact CBR and make those changes. All right, we're going to go over the medical plans. So some exciting plans here to review. First one is called a PPO 1000. So that is also going to be the individual deductible. The family deductible on this plan is $2,000. Now, when you have to worry about deductible, what triggers a deductible on this plan is going to be your major medical services: hospitalization, surgery, baby, MRIs, CAT scans, durable medical equipment. That is what's going to trigger your deductible. Also, if you go to the emergency room and you have to spend the night, there is a copay for the emergency room. However, if you have to be admitted, they could waive that copay or apply it towards the deductible. So that's also going to trigger a deductible event. Now, in the event that you do meet that deductible in a calendar year, you would go into that co-insurance. So at that time, you will continue to pay 20% of all costs until you reach that out-of-pocket maximum of $4,000 as an individual or $8,000 as a family. Keep in mind all of your co-pays, your co-insurance, your deductible, pharmacy co-pays all go towards meeting that out-of-pocket maximum. So it's not on top of all the other costs. So that out-of-pocket maximum starts to reduce with the usage of the plan. Preventative care services on this plan and all of the Blue Cross Blue Shield plans is covered at 100%. So that's going to include your age-appropriate screenings, lab work, and immunization. Office visits for this plan, walk-in clinics, in-person visits to your doctor is a $25 copay and $50 for your specialist. If you are able to schedule your doctor visits or specialist visits virtually, there is zero copay for those visits. That's going to apply to all of the plans, and that is just until the end of the pandemic, which we don't foresee that ending anytime until well into 2021. So keep that in mind for your office visits, specialist visits on all of the plans. If you can schedule them telephonically, virtually, via Skype, zero copays there. Urgent care, $75 per visit. Emergency room, $250 per visit. And going back to that emergency room, just as a refresher, if you go to the emergency room and have to be admitted, they're going to, one or two things: waive the copay and you start to pay towards your deductible, or if you pay the copay, that's going to be applied towards your deductible. Your prescriptions are going to be the same on all of your plans. The only difference is going to be on a high deductible health plan. So the copays, your generic drugs, you're going to pay up to $10 for those generic drugs. Your brand name preferred, up to $35. Your brand name non-preferred, depending on the type of prescription it is, between $60 or $120. Your specialty drugs, so infusion therapy, RA medication, some of the high ticket items, there's 4 additional tiers, and they are in your summary benefit of coverage that was part of the invite. If you need the list of the medications, you can email me directly and I can send it to you for your review. Any questions on this plan? Okay, we're going to move to the PPO 2500. This is a 2500 individual deductible, 5000 family deductible. Same scenario here. What's going to trigger your deductible is your major medical events and testing. So again, inpatient, outpatient surgeries, babies, MRIs, CAT scans, durable medical equipment. That is going to trigger your deductible. If you happen to meet that deductible in the calendar year, you're going to go into that cost share. You're going to pay 20% until you reach the out-of-pocket maximum of $6,350 or $12,700 for a family. Same thing applies here. So your deductible, coinsurance, and all co-pays go towards meeting your out-of-pocket maximum. Preventative care covered at 100%. The screenings, lab work, immunization. Office visits. If you office visit, walk-in clinics, in-person visit, it's a $35 copay. Your specialist is $60. Again, if you can schedule those virtual appointments, it's at $0 copay. Urgent care is $75 and your emergency $250, and the prescription is exactly the same as the previous plan. No change there. The prescription copays are available before your deductible on both of these plans. Then we have two more plans. So this plan here is a 3500 HDHP or high deductible health plan, HSA eligible plan. What that means is if you enroll in this plan, you can also open your HSA or continue to contribute to your HSA if you have one open today. So this plan is everything, all visits, all services, including pharmacy, are going to be subject to your deductible with the exception of your preventative care services, preventative medication, and FDA-approved contraceptives. Everything else is going to be subject to your deductible. So if you go into your doctor's office, your specialist office, the urgent care emergency room, you're going to pay the contract and negotiated rate for those services. For the pharmacy, you're going to pay full retail until you meet that deductible, again, with the exception of the preventative drugs. If you'd like to see what that list looks like before you enroll, I can email it out so you have that at your disposal. So it's a pretty good sized list of preventative drugs that are covered before the deductible with $0 copay. Again, this type of plan allows you to open your HSA or continue to add pre-tax dollars to your HSA, and you can use those HSA dollars to pay for qualified medical expenses for yourself, spouse, and any dependents. You can also use it for dental and vision. Any questions on the high deductible health plan? The final plan here is the PPO 6350. So this plan is $6,350 individual deductible, $12,700 family deductible. Now, if you met that deductible, you have also met your out-of-pocket maximum, which means at that point you will be covered at 100% for all services in network in that calendar year. This plan also has preventative care services covered at 100%. You also have co-pays for your office visits and specialists. Again, if you're able to schedule those visits virtually, it's at $0 copay. Your urgent care is $75, emergency room is $250. So all those co-pays for your pharmacy, doctor visits, all that goes towards meeting your out-of-pocket maximum as well. And then your pharmacy is available before the deductible, so the co-pays apply immediately. You have your generic prescriptions up to $10, your brand name preferred, $35, brand name non-preferred between $60 and $120 depending on the prescription, and then you have 4 additional tiers under the specialty drugs. Any questions on the medical plans? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the HSA account or health savings account tied to a high deductible health plan. So again, these are pre-tax dollars that you can select from your paycheck to go into your HSA account. You can use those dollars to pay for qualified medical services for yourself, spouse, and dependents. A couple of qualifiers to open an HSA or continue to contribute to an HSA. Number one, you have to enroll in a high deductible health plan, which you have one being offered today. You cannot be covered under any other type of plan that has co-pays before your deductible. So if you're on a spouse's plan, a domestic partner plan, a state plan, a federal exchange plan, TRICARE, any of those type of plans that have co-pays before your deductible, you're excluded from being able to contribute to an HSA. Additionally, you cannot be enrolled in any part of Medicare. If you are enrolled in any part of Medicare, you are excluded from adding to your HSA account. And then finally, you cannot be claimed as a dependent on somebody else's tax returns. So if you meet that criteria, you can add your pre-tax dollars. So the maximum that you can add to your HSA account under IRS rules for 2021 is $3,600 for individual, $7,200 for a family. Now, under IRS rules, a family is one plus. It could be one plus a spouse, one plus a child, or an entire family. Also, if you are 55 plus, you can add an additional $1,000, making it $4,600 and $8,200. Remember, if you are enrolled in Medicare, you cannot continue to add to your HSA. The HSA account, if you have one today with UMB Bank and you are not enrolling in a high deductible health plan, you can use those dollars to pay for qualified medical expenses. You just cannot add. If you're enrolling in the high deductible health plan and have your UMB account already open, you do not need to open another account. You just need to tell us how much you're going to be adding to your HSA account. And as a reminder, that HSA account is owned by you. Those dollars roll over year. There is no time frame in which you can use those dollars. There is no use it or lose it provision for your HSA dollars. Any questions on the HSA or high deductible health plan? Okay, next we're going to talk about the flexible spending account. So it is similar to an HSA in that you can select pre-tax dollars to go into an account. So the FSA here on the screen, you can max fund it up to $2,500 for the calendar year. It does have a maximum rollover of $500, which means anything in excess of $500 on December 31st of that calendar year will be forfeited. So if you want to enroll in this plan, you may do so. We do advise that you do not enroll in the high deductible health plan and this together, so that typically goes with an HSA. You can enroll in this account without enrolling in any other benefits. It is a standalone plan. So if you do not want to enroll in the medical or you're covered under somebody else's plan, you can max out the card or put whatever dollar amount you want on it and use it for qualified medical expenses, dental, vision for yourself and any dependents. Also, this account, if you leave the company, it is turned off. You do not take it with you. You also have the dependent care FSA. So these are pre-tax dollars that you may use to pay for qualified daycare and elderly care services. The maximum is $5,000. Any questions on the flexible spending account? Okay, the next, we're going to go over the Blue Cross Blue Shield resources. So this particular resource is your telemedicine provider. So this is going to be effective January 1. So when you get your ID card, you will also get a welcome kit from Blue Cross Blue Shield that will have additional information on your telemedicine provider. It is called BlueCareAnywhereAZ.com. Or that's the website, but the service is called Blue Care Anywhere. So they provide medical, counseling, and psychiatry services virtually or telephonically. You can use these services as needed for yourself and any dependents enrolled in the plan. And again, until the end of the pandemic, there are zero copays associated with these services. So the medical, they can treat things like a rash, UTI, pink eye, earache, sore throat, colds, flus, and they can send a prescription to the pharmacy that's closest to you. So it's a good benefit. It's a good benefit to use if you're traveling. Counseling and psychiatry is also available, and you do keep the same professional until the end of the treatment, or they refer you out to an in-person provider. We're going to go over the dental plans. So you have several dental plans to choose from, actually 4. So we're going to go over all 4 of the plans. We're going to start with the Delta Dental PPO. So there's no change to the dental plans. They stayed the same, and the premiums did not increase for the dental plans. So this first plan is a PPO $1,500. So that is how much you have in each person to use towards your dental services. And then you have an additional $1,000 to use towards child orthodontia. And that's a one-time lifetime benefit per child. On this plan, your preventative care services are covered at 100%. That's cleanings twice a year, and you can schedule those at any time during the calendar year. Basic services are going to include cavities and emergency services. Major services are going to be root canals, crowns, endodontics, periodontics, and that's going to be covered at 50%. Remember, once you exhaust those $1,500 of services, you will pay 100% out of pocket. You can use your HSA dollars or your FSA dollars to pay for these services as well. The next plan is the DHMO dental. So similar to a medical HMO, on this plan, you have to pick a primary dentist if you enroll in this plan. Now, if it's yourself, spouse, and children, you may each have your own dentist. For children up to the age of 8, you may use a pediatric dentist. Children after the age of 8 have to see a regular dentist. So this plan does not have an annual maximum. It does not have deductibles, and everything is going to be covered at a fee schedule. So you still have your cleanings twice a year at no cost to you. Any additional cleanings are going to be a $45 copay, and then all other services are at a fee schedule. That includes all services with the exception of implants, so includes adult orthodontia, child orthodontia, root canals, teeth bleaching. There's just a list of items that are included. So this is just a few of the pages or samples of the pages from the DHMO fee schedule. So you're going to find the procedure and the dental code of the procedures that you need to have done, and the dollar amount associated with that dental code and procedure is what you paid to the providers. Now you can use your HSA or FSA dollars for these services, but again, there's a whole list of services covered under the DHMO plan. Again, you must pick a provider. Now, in the event that you're going to enroll on this for the first time, you do not pick a provider, then Delta Care USA is going to assign you a provider based on your home zip code. You may change that provider anytime during the calendar year. Any questions so far? Okay. We're going to move to the next dental plan. So you have 2 more dental plans to choose from. This one is called the PPO Buy-Up 1 plan. So again, you have $1,500 used towards your dental services. Now the child orthodontia increases to $1,500. So again, that's one-time lifetime benefit per child. Preventive care services, again, covered at 100%. The basic services, now that's going to include more services. Now it's going to include your cavities, your emergency services, and it's now going to include endodontics and periodontics. So that has moved from major to basic under this plan. That's covered at 80%. Major services is still going to include your crowns, dentures, implants, and that's covered at 50%. If you use the basic or major services on this plan or the previous plan or any of the PPO plans, you do have a one-time deductible of $50 as an individual and $150 as a family, and you only pay that once in a calendar year. The next plan is the PPO Buy-Up 2 plan. So a little bit of difference here in this plan. This plan has an annual maximum of $2,000 per person enrolled in the plan. And now the orthodontia increases to $2,000, and now it's covering adults and children. Preventative care, again, covered at 100%. Now your basic services are going to include a lot more coverages, and they're going to be covered now at 90%, and you pay 10% of the cost. Major services increases to 60%, and you cover 40% of the cost. Again, if you use those basic or major services, you have a one-time deductible of $50 as an individual or $150 as a family. Any questions on the dental? All right, we're going to cover the vision plan. No changes to the vision plan or the premiums. They stayed exactly the same. So your eye exam available every 12 months is at a $10 copay, and it is going to be a rolling 12 months. So what that means is if you went to get your eye exam on July 1st, 2020, you do have to wait until July 1st, 2021 or thereafter to schedule that exam. Your frames available every 12 months. You have a $120 allowance to use towards those frames, and then a 20% discount above the $120. For the lenses, and these are going to be plastic lenses, single vision, bifocal or trifocal, you have a $10 copay for those. And then contact lenses available every 12 months in lieu of the lenses for your frames, an $80 allowance, and then a 15% discount. Medically necessary contact lenses are always going to be covered in full. The network for the plan is Insight. So when you're going through to the website and it asks you, it has a drop down for all of the networks, and iMed has a lot of networks, you're going to select Insight. Next, we're going to go over the voluntary life and AD&D. So there is some changes here. The plan is moving from current Unum to MetLife. So very important there. And I am going to at this time bring up one of the MetLife forms that needs to be completed by all the Staq employees. And this is your employer paid life insurance. Just bear with me as I bring up this form. Okay, here it is. So two forms that need to be completed if you're currently enrolled in, sorry about that, if you are enrolled in the employer paid, in the voluntary Unum Life. So just a lot of stuff here. So if you're enrolled today in the employer paid life, you do have to complete a beneficiary form. If you're enrolled in the Unum voluntary life, so you purchased voluntary life coverage for yourself dependent, or just for yourself under Unum, you do have to complete a new enrollment form under MetLife. So it's quite a simple form, and we do not need a whole lot of information, but we do need to get the form completed and returned to us. So this is a form under MetLife, and it's part of the attachments on the invite. We just need your personal information here in section 2. If you're enrolling for the first time, we do need to check the box new enrollment. Change in enrollment, which means you're increasing your current coverage. If you're not increasing your current coverage, you're going to come to this section and check the box and write keep the same for yourself, spouse, and dependents if you have coverage for them and you're keeping it exactly the same. If you don't know how much your current coverage is, please contact your HR representative at CBR and they can tell you how much you have. And if you want to increase it, we do ask that you put the new amount in the box. If you're enrolling for this first time, again, you're going to put the amount that you're enrolling in here. So this is a multi-page document, and I'm just going to run through it really quick. This also is for the short-term and long-term disability. So if you're enrolling in the short or long-term or keeping it the same, check those boxes. And then if you are legally married and covering spouse and children, we do need their information as well in this section 3 for dependents. And then section 5 is going to be your beneficiary. Now, if you live in a state that is a community property state, your legal spouse should be first, and then you can add whomever you want as contingent beneficiaries. The rates for the plans and the coverages are also going to be listed here. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly so I can show you that. Additional information in regards to coverage, what is covered, limitations, exclusions, and then the rates or the premiums. So you're going to take the amount based on your age and the level of coverage that you would like, and you're going to add an additional amount for AD&D, and that's going to be here. So you want to add the AD&D because that'll double your benefit. So if you enroll for $20,000 and you add the 40 cents, if you pass away due to accidental causes, your beneficiary would get $40,000. So you want to make sure that you add those to your premiums there. Okay, going back to this, so the company will continue to offer $25,000 of paid life in AD&D. You do have to complete the company paid beneficiary form, which is somewhere in here. Let me see if this is it. No, that's the incorrect form. So everyone will get it. It'll say ER paid life beneficiary form, and it's a simple form, name and beneficiary. That's all we need, and we need it from everyone. Going back to the life insurance, so the changes here, so now all employees working 20 plus hours are eligible for the life. You can still purchase up to 5 times your annual earnings, up to $500,000. For those that are newly eligible or new hires, you can purchase up to 5 times your annual earnings, up to $200,000 as a guarantee issue, which means no medical underwriting, and then $25,000 for spouse and children, $10,000 is always going to be guarantee issue. Benefit reduction. So under today's Unum plan, we do have a benefit reduction schedule that is going away with MetLife. So whatever life amount you purchase will not reduce as we start to age. So really good benefits there. Short-term and long-term disability, so those are also going to be moving to MetLife. If you're enrolled in those coverages today, that same form that I showed you earlier, that's where you want to indicate it, check the box, and just right next to it, keep the same. Give us those forms, and we will know to transfer that coverage to MetLife. So your short-term disability starts to pay at the 14th day of illness hospitalization. It covers 60% of your pre-disability earnings up to $1,000 a week. The pre-disability earnings under MetLife has changed to base earnings, commissions, and bonus. So those all be figured into your pre-disability earnings. This short-term disability lasts up to 11 weeks. And we'll go over the pre-existing limitation here shortly. The long-term disability starts to pay at the 90th day or the termination of the short-term disability. Again, 60% of your pre-disability earnings, base commissions, bonus, and it pays up to $7,500 a month. And this policy lasts until age 65 or normal Social Security retirement age. Pre-existing limitation. So that it's called a 312, which means if you saw a provider, took medication, or were diagnosed with a condition 3 months prior to the effective date, and then you went out on leave in 2021 with that same condition, it would not be paid. Any other condition would probably be paid. So just keep that in mind. And if you are enrolled today in the short term and long term, you've already satisfied that pre-existing condition limitation. Any questions? Okay, we're going to go over your Employee Assistance Program, or EAP. You have two that you may use. So the support link can be used by any of the employees and dependents, regardless if they're enrolled in benefits or not. So the support link gives you 3 face-to-face visits per issue. You can do telephonic or Skype consultations. Aside from those services, they also offer other types of services, financial services. Their website has self-help videos, classes you can take, concierge services, referral services, and a really good discount programs as well for yourself and the family. The MetLife EAP also provides the face-to-face consultations. Aside from that, additional services, planning service, simple will prep, funeral assistance, and travel assist. The travel assist helps should you travel 100 miles from your home zip code and need to find providers, or if you're traveling abroad and need to seek medical attention, it's a good phone number to have, and they can guide you to get help. You know, if you lost your visa, passport, etc., it's a really good resource to have. Okay, I do see that Jose joined us, and Jose is with Aflac, and he's going to go over some of the amazing changes with Aflac.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Leticia. So, good morning, team. My name is Jose, and I'm going to help out today with a review of your new Aflac offering for Staq employees. We've had a partnership with CBR, and we're glad and happy to tell you guys we have improved our product offering this year. And so, if you're familiar with the Aflac Duck, with our products in the past, the way we work is if you have a health event, whether it's a sickness or an injury, and someone gets hurt or injured or sick, we're going to pay cash benefits back directly after receiving medical treatments. So we're the voluntary worksite plans that help you enhance and protect in addition to your medical plans. So if you're looking at a medical option that has a high deductible for you and your family, we have different options that can help you, with the out-of-pocket medical expenses once the event takes place. So someone gets hurt, maybe playing sports, after school program, maybe you're hiking, ATVing, any kind of minor injury type of accident, or a more severe, maybe a automobile accident, you have an ambulance, hospitalization. These benefits all start to pick up, and AFLAC will review and process the claim usually within 4 days. So let's give an example. For an accident plan, this is one of our best offerings. Most people have seen the commercial with the AFLAC duck, and that's what the quacking duck is. If you get hurt, maybe a bad injury, and you have to go through medical treatments, the first night in the hospital, AFLA will pay $1,250 directly to you just for being admitted to a hospital bed due to an injury. They'll start paying $300 a day for additional confinement. And if you go into an intensive care unit, they'll pay $400 per day. So this benefit has been improved with additional benefits. It's about 50 benefits total. One of the biggest one is, it goes in sequence. It could be a small accident. Maybe you have a burn, a cut, maybe somebody took an ankle, or maybe you throw out your bag, moving furniture or hanging Christmas lights, or whatever you're doing this holiday season. And or after January 1, I will say, initial accident treatment goes up to $200 just for walking in seeking medical assistance. If you take your child, you're dependent up to the age of 26, or the kids away to college, and they get injured, they can go to care. It's $200 for them too. Any ambulance, ground or air transportation, any traumatic brain injury goes up to $5,000. Any coma to $10,000. So this plan is very rich in that sense, and it's very affordable. It's about $4 per individual, $11 family coverage. So whether you have one kid or two or three multiple kids up to the age of 26, it's a two-parent family is covered. You have other options as a single parent or employee and spouse only. And this one has improved to a $50,000 accidental death and dismemberment policy built into it. So you automatically get an extra $50,000 coverage due to an accidental death. So we're excited for this one. It does have a wellness benefit of $50 once a year per cover insured. So once you go get your annual physical, dental exam, AFLA will pay you $50 just for making sure you're okay. The second plan we're looking here, and it's probably the most improved, is your critical illness. And this one is a lump sum critical illness, and it does cover cancer, any invasive internal cancer, and any major heart attack or cardiac arrest, organ transplant, any kind of stem cell transplant or kidney failure. It pays up to $30,000 to you directly, and that's the maximum. And it's a lump sum upfront once you have the initial diagnosis. It pays up to $15,000 for your spouse, and $15,000 max for your dependent children. Children are covered at no additional cost, so you're just really paying for mom and dad. This plan has been improved. In the past, we had two separate plans. We had just the cancer protection by itself, and then we had the heart protection by itself. So this is the best of both our sickness plans, and they combine them and give you guys an option here to go up to $30,000, or you can pick the $15,000 if you want a lesser amount. These are age banded. So give you an example, someone between 18 to 45 age will be about $5-6 a week for $30,000. The older we get, a little bit more expensive, but the average is no more than $40 a week for the highest. That's the richest plan we have at a very competitive price. So the next one is the hospitalization plan. So you can get sick or you can get injured. So your deductible is going to be due, and then the first night in the hospital, AFLA will pay $2,000 per insured per cover per calendar year. So if you have a member, or you have maybe you upcoming, after January 1, there's someone who's going to go treatment and maybe hospitalized, I would recommend looking into this plan. If you're starting a family or currently going to have a baby, this one is guaranteed issue and it will be covered. So if you get admitted to the hospital, the $2,000 benefit is guaranteed issue. So any hospitalization, it could be sickness, it could be injury. So we don't coordinate with any major medical. We don't coordinate with a carrier. So if you do receive a $2,000 benefit on the admission because of an injury per se, and you do also have the accident plan, you get paid on both. AFLA does not coordinate with our own plans, so you will overlap benefits. You will get paid on both of them. the accident injury hospitalization benefit, and the hospitalization benefit due to injury. So that's about $3,250, yeah, $3,250 combined. So those two plans are very well rounded. All of these have a $50 wellness. The hospital, the cancer, critical illness and the accident, they all have a $50 wellness preventative. So if you take all three plans, you're gonna get $150. The cool thing about Aflac is you can pick and choose however you want to. You can pick one or none of them. You can take a look at all three plans, see if that's the budget. We also have an additional plan that's a short-term disability. Unlike the MedLife plan, that is a 14-day elimination, we start offering after the first day of injury. So we have a 0-7 or a 0-14 elimination. So the first day of an accident, you start receiving your paycheck protection benefit up to 3 or 6 months of coverage. And you get to pick and choose how much you want to protect. So we have a coverage up to 67% of your monthly benefit or monthly gross income. And we can do this customized. We can go, say someone earning around 30,000 protects 1,500 a month for a 0-14 elimination. After 2 weeks of sickness, they'll start getting paid after the injury immediately or after day 15th of a sickness. And the price is around, age banded 18 to 49, 50 to 64. And this one will be around somewhere between $12 to $13 per week. So these are very unique plans. I don't know if anyone had the Aflac plan last year, but we do want you to schedule a time with us. Here's our contact information. We do have an extended time. I think we're doing it to we want it by the 15th. So if you want to schedule a call with me, please reach out, send me an email. I'm going to reply to all with the overviews, the detailed summary, and the rates. That way you guys can take it home and review it. We do have my phone number, my email address, and I'm going to send in the email. There's a new time trade link if you want to self-schedule for us to give you a call at a convenient time for you. So please look out for that one. With that, I'll open it up for any questions on the Aflac plans. Anyone? Leticia?
Thank you, Jose. Now, if anybody has Aflac today and you haven't filed any claims, if you went to get your wellness, Jose is also going to be a really good resource. So you can he can help you with filing those claims. So reach out to him independently of everything that's going on here. So we're going to attach to the invite and send it out to everyone, or the additional Aflac information. And I just looked through everything that I've attached, and it's a lot of stuff. I'm also going to attach the employer paid life insurance beneficiary form. So I'll label it clearly so you'll see it as an addition. You'll also see the new Aflac forms that are going to be included in there for your review. I'm going to continue with the rest of the voluntary benefits. So the pet health care is provided by United Pet Care. So if you have your pet enrolled today, you will see a slight increase in 2021. It's $1.20 more per month. So United Pet Care partners with veterinarians throughout the United States to provide discounts for veterinary services. That includes dogs, cats, reptiles, pocket pets. The only thing they do not cover are fish. I asked, somebody wanted to know, so I asked, and that is a very specialized care and it's not covered under UPC. A really good place to start if you're considering enrolling your pet is the website. That's also going to be where you enroll. You can type in your zip code and it'll bring up a list of providers in your immediate area. There is no breed exclusion or pre-X for the pets here. So if your pet is currently ill or you may think they may be ill, I recommend going to the website, reviewing the flyer that's in your invite, and you'll see hopefully some savings there for the vet care. Legal Shield and ID Shield is available. So if you're currently enrolled in these types of plans, no changes in the premiums or coverages. Legal Shield is a suite of attorneys you have at your disposal for many things: contract review, POAs, power of attorneys, simple will prep, and a lot more. And of course, ID Shield helps protect you against identity theft. So they review the internet, your credit, the dark web to make sure your information is not floating out there. For this plan, you do have to also enroll online. All right, next step. So a lot of information was sent out. You will be enrolling via the Darwinet system, and everyone should receive or will receive an email from the Darwinet system saying you can now enroll in your benefits, and that'll be open today. You do have until the December 9th to complete all of your elections and return all of your packets. We do have until December 15th for AFLAC, so it gives you a little bit of time to schedule those one-on-ones with Jose and his team if you want to enroll or review the current coverages and see if he can potentially save you some money there. Now, does anybody have any questions on anything we've covered today? All right, I am going to bring up the additional benefit offerings packet just so you know what needs to be completed, if anything, on here. So the form that's on the screen is your flexible spending account form, or FSA. You may have already received an email from our HR team, and if you've already enrolled, you do not need to re-enroll, but if you want to take the opportunity to enroll now, you may do so by completing this form. This is going to be your Legal Shield and ID Shield information. Here's the website where you enroll, and also on this page are the premiums if you scroll to the bottom. So you can enroll yourself, family, for both or individual plans. The pet healthcare information is here. So you fall outside of the state of Arizona and California. So the preferred program or the partner program is what you have access to. You're going to go to the website, type in your zip code, and see if any veterinarians in your area are providing services or part of the program. This is the support link. So this is one of the EAP services that's available to you. Additional information here, probably something to have handy. Maybe take a picture of it. The username is going to be CBR all lowercase. And then additional information on AFLAC. So kind of what Jose gave you an overview on, this is pretty much it. And then that interest form is here. So if you want to meet with Jose, you can complete this, send it out, send him an email. His information is at the bottom here as well. His phone number or his email address, and send that to him, and he can set up that one-on-one appointments with you. Any questions? Okay, thank you, everybody. That's going to conclude our presentation, and I will be sending out the YouTube link later today. Have a great afternoon.